Yeah. Is your lunch tardy?
Hey dog lover, welcome to Wagging Tails Unleashed, where we bring you all things man's best friend. Well, I'm James and this is my co-host Zion, and we're so glad that you're here. Hey, if you end up liking this video and you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. So Zion, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get hungry. What are we gonna do about that? Well, continuing on the theme of food, some of you asked, what do we actually feed our dogs? So that's what we're gonna talk about today, what we give to our pups. I'm gonna show you a few of the examples of the meals that we feed our dogs. And I'm gonna talk about two of the most common types of foods or meal plans that people give to their dogs. So how about we get into that, right bud? Okay, so before I show you some of the actual meals that we feed our dogs, I want to say this. When you're doing homemade dog foods, you don't have to get it perfect. Yes, you want to get the right ratio so they're getting all the nutrients that they need, but you don't have to get it perfect before you make this venture. There's easy ways to supplement with vitamins and minerals through supplements. So this is just like a basic start to making food for your dog from home and avoiding processed foods as much as you can. So the meals that we feed our dogs, it's not 100% raw. So we kind of do like this hybrid raw mixed with cooked, mixed with some canned food, but we do the best that we can to keep it as whole foods as possible. If you're getting value from this content, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell so that you can be notified when we put out new videos. So when people make their own dog food, there's two main models that people follow. The first one is the prey model. And this basically mimics what a dog would do if they were out in the wild, or the way their wolf ancestors ate. And this would be 80% muscle meat, 10% bones, and 10% organs. Now, some owners that practice this will take a whole rabbit or a whole quail, throw it to their dogs, and they'll eat the whole thing up. If you live on a farm, if you have access to those type of animals, that's a good option. For most people, it's probably not gonna work. I know with our dogs, if I threw a whole dead rabbit into Zion's bowl, he'd be looking at us like, what the hell is this? So for most people, not very practical. But if you just had 80% muscle meat that was raw, and then you just threw some raw bones and some raw organs into a bowl, then that would essentially be the prey model. The next model is a little more forgiving and a little more doable. It's called the BARF model. I know, bad name. It stands for biologically appropriate raw food. With this method, you're gonna do 70% muscle meat, 10% raw edible bones, 5% liver, 5% secretive organs, and the last 10% would basically be fruits and vegetables. Some people break it down into 7% vegetables, 2% nuts and seeds, and 1% fruit. And the most popular meats that people choose would be beef, chicken, turkey, pork, rabbit, those type of meats. For organ meats, liver would be number one, but you could also do hearts, livers, just different types of organs. For the bones, you could use whole, raw bones, or you could grind up the bones into some kind of powder. You never want to give cooked bones because they could splinter and cause the dogs to choke. You could add a little dairy like plain yogurt with no sugar or cottage cheese. Raw eggs is a real easy way to add protein and vitamins and minerals. Fish they recommend once a week. That might be because of the mercury levels, but tuna, salmon, whitetail are common fish. And for veggies, you could do broccoli, carrots, celery, pumpkin, squash. You'll see in a bit that we do canned pumpkin puree, not to be confused with pumpkin pie filler, which has sugar and other stuff, just plain pumpkin puree. And for fruit, apples, blueberries, cranberries are good choices. Now, if you're ever unsure about a particular fruit or anything that you're not sure if it's toxic or not, just look it up. For example, grapes are a fruit. You might think, all right, blueberries are fine. What about grapes? Grapes are toxic to dogs. So if you're ever in question, just go to Google. And when it comes to what amount to feed your dog, a general guide is 2 to 3% of their ideal body weight. And whenever you're transitioning into a diet, let's say you're doing kibble and you want to slowly transition them, or whatever diet you're doing, you want to ease into it. So for the first 3 or 4 days, you could do 75% of what you normally feed your dog and then add that quarter of new food. 4 days later, add another quarter. Just ease in, see how your dog's doing, check his stool, see how his digestive system is reacting to it, and then continue from there. And if you do feed your dog kibble and you're just not ready to go fully whole foods and you want to maybe do half kibble and half raw or half whole foods, then I made a whole video on my best picks for kibble. You can check that out. I forget which side. I hope that helps you. So some of the benefits of these more natural diets are you can improve your skin and the allergies that your dogs have. You can improve dental health. You can prevent or eliminate digestive issues because 80% of your dog's immune system is in the gut. It can help stabilize their weight. It can improve their energy. And lastly, it can help improve their behavior. Okay, so now let's head into the kitchen and show you guys some of the meals that we feed our dogs. All right, so here we have some sweet potatoes, fish, blueberries, and ground beef cooked. Pumpkin puree, beef liver, dehydrated, some yogurt, and here's some of our supplements. All right, so here is cooked ground beef. Now, we sometimes do raw. If you're gonna do raw, I would recommend grass-fed. And if it's only been in your fridge for 1 to 3 days, raw, anything past that, I would cook it just to make sure there's no bacteria. Now, you won't see it in this video, but sometimes we do ground turkey or ground chicken. With the turkey and the chicken, we always cook it. With the beef, like I said, only if it's grass-fed and it's only been in the fridge a few days. All right, so we're just adding the ingredients here. About a scoop of pumpkin puree, a scoop of yogurt. All right, so this is for allergy support. This is Wuffy's, this is for joints. You know, our dogs are seniors. And this is BuddyGuard that we give to Obi. After his last rabies shot, he developed a tumor. It's benign, but we're giving him that. It's supposed to help to dissipate, hopefully, the tumor. Mixing it all up. Look how yummy that looks. Looks gross for us, but the dogs love it.
You are gonna eat? Oh, okay.
Meal number 2, some of the same supplements. Here's a canned food, very simple, clean ingredients. Got some eggs, that's bone broth, and we have some dehydrated beef hearts. We'll show you the dehydrator that we used to dehydrate these, very simple. And here we got some steak. Now with steak, there's cheaper cuts that are tougher for humans. That's why they're cheaper, but dogs, they don't mind at all. So there we give 1 each of the beef hearts. Here's bone broth, more pumpkin puree, more yogurt. All right, maybe 30% of a can of the canned food. And again, twice a day, Obi gets the BuddyGuard. The supplements again for joints. And there we go. The egg for each. Mix it all up. Looks nasty, but as you can see, Zion can't wait.
Is your lunch tardy?
So this is meal 3, but a different day. We do 2 meals a day. Here my wife is making bone broth. So the broth is for us and the dogs. The chicken, the majority of the chicken meat is for us, but then some of the scraps and the cartilage we give to the dogs, as you can see here, along with some of the carrots. And then we're gonna do an egg again. There's more dehydrated beef hearts. All right, adding it all in. All right, again, another scoop of the wet canned food. And here, so here we add the omega-3s. Lee just pokes it with a knife and then squirts it right into the bowl. All right, here we add colostrum. Colostrum is good for immunity and digestive health. And again, Wuffy is for joints. And again, BuddyGuard. And there you go. We used to do raw chicken wings for the bones. The problem is they would take it out of the bowl, they would bring it somewhere else and eat it there. So because of, contamination, we stopped doing that. We might start doing that again and just breaking the wing in half, and hopefully they'll just keep it in the bowl. All right guys, I hope this video was helpful and we gave you some good ideas to make some homemade food for your dogs. And if you've been making your own dog food and you have some good recipes that you want to share with the rest of us, leave it in the comment section below. It just brings me so much joy and pleasure to help you help your dogs have the healthiest and most fulfilled life they could possibly have. All right, well, thank you so much for stopping by for another video. I hope you got some value from it. If you did, Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, in the description below, we'll have links to all of Zion and Obi's favorites. So from Zion and myself, we want to wish you all a perfect day.